Good afternoon, guys. Greg Thomas here with Soul Entertainment, Mr. REAL. Had a topic that I just wanted to share briefly on today. You got to put energy on your dreams. You got to put energy on what you're marketing, on what you believe in, and you got to have content. So I ask you, please forgive me for the tank top today. Forgive me for the tank top, man. It is hot outside. It's about 100 degrees outside. So walking back and forth, in and out outside, man, it makes you just, hey, listen, it makes you want to dress for like you're at the beach. But I was looking at something. I was looking at something that was very profound. I mean, like I heard some stuff very profound. If you know me, man, I'm a person, man. I've been transformed by the renewing of my mind through the Word of God and through other, just reading and studying and education, man. And it's just brought me to a place, man. Shout out to the Hype One podcast. Listen, man, this young lady here is an up and coming star. She has some great stuff, some great content over on YouTube, man. I ask you that you would check her out. That's the Height One podcast. But yeah, as we go forth, man, I'm just thinking about life, and I'm thinking about this horrific story. It's horrific, and the reason that it's such a motivating factor to me, such a blessing to me, is because I've become a reader. I've become an individual, man. I look for opportunities to study. I look for opportunities, man, to just, I mean, like dig in and grab hold to knowledge, grab hold to wisdom. So I'm definitely intrigued whenever I run across such inspiration, and I'm just, my mind is just overwhelmed. I mean, like these stories are, they're so inspiring. Whether new or old, man, I believe that we can all learn from other people. But Thomas Edison, if you know, guys, was the one that created the light bulb, right? He created the commercial lights. He actually created over 1,093 different patents on different things. But what I like about his story, we know him to be an inventor, which is absolutely possible. Late 1800s, early 1900s, that's when he did his thing. But if you ever run across this story, if you Google this story, Thomas Edison was a great inventor. I'm not wrestling with whether or not he took credit for some. There were some things that he received credit from that he did not invent. But let's just talk about the actual stories of his. At the age of 12, Thomas Edison was with his dad, if I'm not mistaken. He was with his dad, and they were going to catch a train, and he ended up falling over onto the train tracks, like the subway train or whatnot, like over up in New York City. He ended up falling over on the train tracks, and his dad had to pull him off of the train tracks in order to save his life. So his dad reaches down to grab him and grabs him by his ears and pulls him off of the train track, right? Thomas Edison said that he heard something pop in his earlobe during that time, but they really didn't do much about it. Really didn't do much about it. His hearing began to go down, go down, go down, go down over time. His hearing began to degenerate over time, and it left him deaf. It left him deaf. But that's only part of the story. The cool thing about it is that he was examined by doctors, by medical professionals, and the medical professionals said that it was possible to reconstruct his eardrums, and if he had surgery, they would be able to restore his hearing. The awesome thing about that is Thomas Edison said that he did not want to have this surgery. It's very unique because you got to imagine, if you're living in today's time, how important is hearing, especially when you've grew up with hearing, and you're not hearing impaired, and you've had that opportunity, to over time. I mean, just the blessing of hearing, the blessing of allowing it to be your warning signals that someone is approaching you, or someone is coming upon you. Hearing is also good for balance. I was told that if you lose your hearing, then you lose a certain amount of your ability to balance, and those things sort of have to re recalculate, or they have to, your mind, your balance has to be rebalanced, right? It has to be accustomed to the fact that you can't hear from your left or your right side, so it affects your balance. But then I began to think about, okay, it affects your balance. It affects, different aspects of your life. But then I began to look at relationships. When I looked at Thomas Edison, when I look at the fact that he became hearing impaired, lost his hearing, and they asked him, would he like to have surgically have his ears repaired? As an adult, he would have been able to have this surgery to have his hearing repaired. Thomas Edison said that he did not want to have his ears repaired. That he would rather live the remainder of his life not listening to, not hearing what was going on in life. He said he did not want to have his tubes tubes inserted into his ears so that he could hear again. He literally told his loved ones, his parents, his family, that he would rather remain deaf and not be able to hear because he wanted to focus on himself. And I just wanted to share a word of encouragement on today, right now, man. That is so powerful. When I heard this story, I wanted to pull the car over, man, and just do a praise dance, because I'm telling you something, man, that is unique about what was going on. What's up, brother? What's up, bro? Yeah. I just had hit you up, man. What's up, Tonio? I just had hit you up, man. I'm trying to go live with you, man, but I guess you got important stuff that you got going on today, man. So you didn't You told me you were gonna call me back. I was trying to go live with Big Dog. I was trying to go live with you today, man. Maybe we can catch a live later. But Thomas Edison had the opportunity to have his ears repaired, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it because he said he didn't want to hear what other people had to say. He figured that he could focus more on his business. He could focus more on his inventions if he didn't hear what people had to say. The article even went on to say that the beautiful thing about him not being able to hear was that his conversations were short with people. That his conversations were short with people, and that allowed him the opportunity to focus more on being a creator. And if you were looking to the history books, you would find that there were more than 1,000 patents that Thomas Edison had actually reached out to make. I mean, he literally had, I believe the number I read was 1,093 patents that he filed for, from things that different things that he was working on. And I mean, they were broad categories, from light bulbs all the way to telephones, and being able to help the people that couldn't see, being able to read, like some type of instrument that would allow him to be able to read stuff out for the blind. But he created a lot of stuff. And so I'm looking in 2022 in a time where we are caught up and almost trapped in this thing called social media. We're almost trapped in this era where everybody wants to know what everybody has going on. We want to be in a place where we want to be nosy at the push of a button. I heard something, I want to check that. We've got monitors over our homes. We got cameras installed with our security alarms we've got doorbells that before you even ring the bell, we know that you're at the door. We've got sound coming from the doorbells that allows us to speak back to people who are there at our doors. We've got a lot of technology in today's time that has tied us to. It has tied us to the. It's tied us to be able to observe, to be able to see. It's tied us to basically being able to see what's going on, understand what's going on. And when we don't know what's going on, we got buttons like Instagram, we got Facebook, we've got Snapchat. We can figure out what you're doing. It even got to the point to where employers are now reaching out to people's social media in an attempt to find out more about them. So one reason that I like to record and I like to go live is because the individual that I'm trying to be, the individual that I'm developing to be there, they want to find out what type of content it is that I'm sharing. They want to know, what are you saying? Who are you? Who is your crowd? What is the message that you are sharing with others? So it is very important as a content creator, as a speaker, as a public speaker, that you don't worry so much about who's watching you or the people that are participating in the live talks that you have, but more than ever, you're more conscious of the fact that you've got to get content created in order to be great, in order to have those checks written. There are going to be some people that need to analyze you, and the only way that they can analyze you is when they see your work ethic. So shout out to Greg Thomas at So What Entertainment, Mr. REAL, who has decided, man, I'm going to create content whether you like it or not, whether you view it or not, whether you ride the entire segment with me. Thank you guys for popping in and popping out. I know they're pretty long, but I'm doing it for the purpose of having someone write me a check at a later date. So listen what I'm saying. It's not so important that you follow me the entire time. Share a like, share the video, hit like button, jump in, jump out. Let somebody know Greg's going live, or he's doing a great job. Let me know that I'm doing a great job. But most importantly, there's content that has to get out. There's a certain level of content that needs to be created to show my potential clients, to show my potential organizations that I'm worthy of standing on their stage and worthy of them paying me for it. Because one thing about it, it's not something that you do free. You actually get paid for being a motivational speaker, but you have to be original. You have to be able to swear or to encourage somebody that when you write a proposal for a motivational speech, that this is worth $2,000, that this is worth $5,000. I mean, and there are people that are making bukus of money being able to speak. And I haven't even made my first event where I've made money in that arena. I have received some monies, but my goal is to speak on a level of understanding that when my name is spoken, they know that he had something to say. That when somebody says, do you know So What Entertainment? Do you know Greg Thomas? That somebody is able to say, absolutely, I do. And I agree that the content that he shares with the people is content that we want to hear. So we're talking about Thomas Edison here, and we're talking about the power of not being able to hear. We're talking about the fact that Thomas Edison lost his hearing at age 12, and that when he grew up, he had the opportunity to have his ears repaired, but he decided that he didn't, because he wanted to focus more on his inventions. And what does that mean in 2022? What does that mean on today, where you can be doing any and everything? What does it mean? Why do you say mute this or mute that? I'll tell you exactly why I say mute this or mute that, because I'm about to get happy. Because you see, what is happening in life is that many of us are following suit based on the people that we are around and the things that we think we want, the things that we think other people want to hear. Now, the majority of us do not have any individuality, I say individuality. Like, there's nothing that separates you. There's no uniqueness about who you are. There's nothing unique about the person that you are, because you're so focused on other people and what they're going to think about you. You're so focused on the mindset. You're so focused on impressing others that you lose yourself. And so what we want to do is we want to be content creators that are conscious of the needs of the people, but we never want to lose ourselves in the opinions of the people. So one of my goals is to always remain original to who I am as a speaker, at the same time honoring the very topics and the things that you want to speak about, but at the same time trying to remain original and remain who I am in the process of me doing that. Does that make any sense to anybody? And so Thomas Edison could have had his ears reconstructed, but he decided that's not what I want to do. And so before I get out of here on today with just sharing this story, please read back behind me. Thomas Edison was deaf. He died a deaf man, but he could have had his ears reconstructed, but he did not do it. And the reason that I think that he failed to reconstruct his ears is because of the garbage that goes around and the things that we hear about in life. It's so much stuff that is going on in life, so many things that people are saying to us, around us, about us, to other people. There's so much information that travels through speech. There's so much garbage that travels through speech. I believe that he decided I would rather work on my inventions rather than hear this garbage. But I want to tell you right now that if you are a business owner, if you're a content creator, if you have a small business, whether it's in clothes, auto detailing, cutting grass, or I don't care, shoveling boo-boo, I don't care what it is, preacher, pastor, deacon in the church, I don't care if it's a something over here, something over there. If you are in the place to influence people, I want to remind you of something that is so very important that I believe will help all of us. It'll help clean us and to get our mindset. It'll help get our spirit out of a rut. It'll help get us out of a bad place, and that is to mute, to turn off, to mute. Yeah, to simply mute what people are saying in your life, to simply just turn off what they're saying. Stop listening to what they're saying. Stop listening to the news for a little while. Stop listening to the negativity in the barbershop. Stop listening to what people are saying and just mute that for a minute. Can you put your hand up and say, let me cut that off for a minute? Maybe it's a cell phone. Maybe it's a computer. Maybe it's both of them. Maybe it's just disrespectful people, or maybe it's just relationships that we don't need to be in. But could you just take that time right now to just mute some stuff that is going on in your life? And the reason that we want to mute some stuff is because we are so we're living in a time where we think that we got to respond and answer to everything that everybody is talking about, and we don't understand that every time I spend energy on answering the wrong stuff, that every time I spend energy on trying to persuade someone that is never going to be persuaded, that once I begin to take my eyes off what it is that I'm doing and start to try to impress the people that are the own sayers, or the people that are the observers, when I begin to move in a place of trying to please the people that are around me, I begin to care about what their opinions are. I begin to care more about what they are saying than the actual goal that I'm trying to achieve. So what do? Number one, we got to mute some stuff. We got to mute some stuff because we got some work to do. We got personal work we got to do. We got to clean ourselves up. So if we're going to clean ourselves up, the first thing that we want to do is limit ourselves to what we're hearing, because what we're hearing is going to determine the direction or how fast we can clean ourselves up. Now, you're in a place where you're a small business, or you're thinking about going into business for yourself. Well, the question is going to be to you, what voices are you hearing in your head? When you say that you want to start a small business, or you say, I want to start a business, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Is it what your mom said, dad said, sister, brother, hater, friend, educator? What was the first things that come to your head when you start talking about your dreams and your aspirations and the person that you want to become? Is it what you hear from your spouse? If the information or what you're hearing from the people that are around you, if it's negative, then I want to challenge you to mute that. I want to challenge you to put on hold the opinions of what they're saying about the direction that you're going in life just for a moment, because I believe that you can make it and that you will make it. I believe that God has made you perfect and that you are going to be all that you are supposed to be. But I think that you are leaning more on the approval of the opinions of everybody else versus you leaning on the approval and the ability to do what you need to do, because you've already went to school for it. You already have the mindset in order to achieve it, but you're not moving in it. And the reason that you're not moving in it, because you got some stuff that you got to mute. I'm mindful of how life works and how situations sort of evolve and how painful it can be when someone tells you the truth, or someone tells you what they think about what you're doing. Man, I'm telling you the truth. The crazy thing about life, especially, use for example the first business that I started. My mobile detailing business right now is striving, it's pushing, it's pressing. I'm making money in mobile detailing. I'm making money in mobile detailing. This is a business that I started a long time ago. I started a while ago, and 14 years to be exact. I started a business. I started mobile detailing 14 years ago. But this was the catch. I heard so many people. I had so many voices in my head. I even had my mom and my dad sit me down and tell me, Greg, you can't afford to go out on your own right now. Why don't you just get a job? It would be better for you to go over to the poultry and just get you a job. Just get you a regular job, son, and then just see how that go and do a little bit of detailing on the weekends, because you need to be able to have money to protect your family. You need to be able to have money to take care of your house, right? And so at the time when you're thinking about it, you got to think about the mindset first. See, first of all, you got to look at the mind is already telling you that things are not working. You're already seeing with your natural eyes that things are not working. So the problem is when I look at this and I see that things are not working, and then the voices of other people come into my life, and the people that love me. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not talking about haters right now. We're talking about genuine people that are in our family. We're talking about spouses. We're talking about moms, dad, grandma, auntie, uncles. You know, in the earlier stages of you starting your business, if you were anything like me, I didn't have funding from the bank. I had bad credit. I didn't have a decent car. There was nothing that said go ahead and do it. Or when I started my detailing business, I was living with my mom, and at the time my wife was pregnant with our second child. I didn't have anything in my favor at the time to say, Greg, now is the time for you to do it. I didn't have a 401k because I was just getting out of prison. I was just moving back from Florida from losing everything. So my cars, they were looking for my cars in Florida, but I had them in Georgia. Thank God. So the repo man didn't really have a solid address on where to pick his cars up at. He just knew that they hadn't been paid on in a few months and it was time to go repo them. But long story short, I kept moving. And what I did not understand is that the people that are closest to us are the people that we listen to the most. The people that are closest to us are the ones that sort of shapes and sort of guides us on the path that we're trying to pursue, on the path that we're pursuing. They sort of serve as safeguards to the decisions that we're probably going to try to make, or when we're walking away from a job or we're walking into something else. But these are the things that you got to understand. Sometimes these people you got to mute them folks. And you ask yourself, why do you have to mute these folks? You got to mute them because in their mindset, you have to think about where the majority of the people that we're asking our advice comes from. The majority of the people that are asking our advice come from a background of jobs. They come from a place of where work 30 years and retire. They come from a place of where working for someone is all that they have ever known. They come from a place from where if you don't go out and clock somebody's clock, then you probably won't be solid and life won't work for you. You have to be mindful of the people that you're asking advice from, because it's not that they don't like you or they don't want to tell you something, but what they are doing is trying to give you the best information from their perspective, but what they have to say may not absolutely suit you. So shout out to moms. Ma, thank you so much for raising me. But I thank dad and the RIP pops. Thank you so much for the power of, for everything that you done for me. But I have to be real and to say that the advice that my mom and dad gave me during that time, it was obsolete. I couldn't use that. That if I would have followed their precepts and their concepts, if I would have followed through what mom and dad were suggesting to me right now, I would be on somebody's job as a worker. I wouldn't be able to run my business and yet start another business in an attempt to or make more money in this business than I was making in that other business. So what happens is the people that we are around, they influence the decisions that we make. And what we want to realize, and this is what we're going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm Greg Thomas here with Soul Entertainment. We are about to start having private events, group sessions, group paid sessions that you're going to pay me to help you organize. So because see things about business, it's about wordplay. When you learn how to use your words, and once you get in the right positive environment, there's no limit to how much you can strive for. When you get in a positive environment, there's no limit to the amount of people that you can do business with. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm about to start having live paid events start going on with So What Entertainment. I'm currently doing my business major. I'm in the process of obtaining my master's degree in business administration with a focus on management. And what I'm about to start doing is putting together classes for the people that really want to make something out of their life. I know I'm speaking free and I'm online and want people popping in and popping out, but we're about to get real strategic on what we're about to do. We're about to take this thing to another level and begin to allow God to just open some real live doors for those who are really trying to obtain some stuff. If you're going to go far in life, there are just some people that you're gonna have to mute. There's just some stuff in life that you cannot afford to listen to, and the reason that you cannot afford to listen to it is because it doesn't suit your situation. So you're asking yourself, how do I get to the next level if the people that I'm around are not suiting my situation? Number one, you got to turn off what you're currently hearing. You got to mute what's going on in your mind. Hey, you're going to be a multimillionaire. How does that feel when I tell you that? For the guys that are online, hey, you're going to be a multimillionaire. You're going to be the first multimillionaire in your family. Do me a favor. Type in my inbox. Type in the comment section right now how you feel when I express to you that you're going to be the first millionaire in your life. One person logged off already. Type in the inbox right here. Type right here in the box. You are going to be the first millionaire in your family. Type in that box, in the comment box, how that felt when I spoke that over your life. Were you scared? Did you feel like I was talking to you? Did you feel like it was going over your head? Did you feel 3 people logged off since I asked that one question? There's 3 people that are scared, that are scared to speak over their own life and to say what they felt. 4 people logged off. 4 people logged offline. I just lost my whole audience when I asked the question, what do you feel about me telling you that you're going to be the first millionaire in your family? Got 2 people online. I got 2 people online. Would somebody please follow the rules? So what I asked was that somebody, whoever you are online, because I'm using software so I don't know the actual person, you're going to be the first millionaire in your family. Type in the comment box how that makes you feel, and type in the comment box whether you believe what I just said. Help me out real quick. You're going to be the first millionaire in your family. Type in the comment box whether or not you accept what I just said, whether or not you didn't receive what I just said. And if you didn't receive that, type in the comment box. Help me, somebody. Type in the comment box why you don't believe that. Or what voice did you hear in your head when I asked you that? What voice did you hear in your head? 2 people just logged off. What voice did you hear in your head when I told you that you're going to be the first millionaire in your family? Doesn't seem as if anybody believed that. Why are people saying they want to be successful but not believing in themselves? I'll tell you why. It's because the majority of the people that you meet in life are purpose driven based on whether or not what they are doing is approved by the majority. When the people that are around them approves their message, they're happy. When the people around them disapproves of their message, they're sad. The reality is that you're allowing people to drive you and to motivate you to the level that you should be motivating yourself, because the value of you depends on you. The true value of who you are as an individual has absolutely nothing to do with what they are saying. People will not follow you long enough to change their life if you don't believe in you. If I got on this screen every single day and screamed and yelled and spit all over this microphone as if what I was saying somebody wanted to hear, or if I was spitting on the microphone as if what I was saying somebody did not want to hear, nobody's life would ever change. But the reason that people's lives are going to be changed is because, number one, when I came on the live, I already knew who I was. When I logged in today, I had a clear understanding of the power that resides on the inside of me. When I logged on to this broadcast today, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that I will absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, be a multimillionaire. And I'm able to say that without having $1 million in my bank account. I'm able to literally tell you out of my mouth that the words that are coming out of my mouth will be so powerful in the next coming years that they will produce multi-million-dollar contracts from simply just speaking. How do I know that? I've already told it to myself. I already believe and understand that I am the next best motivational speaker that has ever hit this world. I have already understood that when the Bible tells me that my gift will make room for me, that I'm practicing day in and day out to be that individual, and there's nothing that nobody can do about it. So now the question that I'm asking you is that what are you hearing in your ears when I say you're going to be the first millionaire in your family? Why were you unable to follow the directions and to type into the chat that I receive it? Why were you unable to type into the chat that I too will be a millionaire? Why were you unable to do it? I'll tell you why. Because the voices in your head, you're ashamed that the people that you're hearing in your head, when you make those confessions, you're thinking within your head that these people gonna laugh at me. You're trying to obtain something by faith and you won't even type it into a chat line. You trying to receive something by faith and you still hear them voices in the middle of your head telling you that you ain't S. You still hear people telling you in your head that you will never be nothing. And the reason that you cannot be all that you are supposed to be is because you're not muting. You're not pushing that button. Let me tell you something. You're letting yourself down when you refuse to allow yourself to be yourself. Because you are operating in life based on the opinions of others. Because you're operating in life based on what they're saying. You will fail in this life to be all that God has called you to be simply because you value the opinions of everybody else more important than you value the self-talk that you make to yourself. You know when your life is out of whack, when you value and move according to what they are saying, and you put your own hopes and dreams on the back burner. You fail to execute the plans. It's not because you can't, and it's not because you don't have the wisdom and the knowledge to do it. You fail to execute your plans in life because you think that because they're laughing at you, that S really matters. You think that just because they're talking about you, that they have power over you. That's a lie. The only power that you have over you is you. The only power that is over you is you. Your wordplay, what you're saying. You're going to be the first millionaire in the family. How does that make you feel? You're going to be the greatest asset to your family for this generation and the next generation to come. How does that make you feel? God is going to bless you with Tyler Perry money. Not his money, but money like Tyler Perry. How does that make you feel? You will not only be letting folks borrow your car, but you will be buying cars for other people. How does that make you feel? At the end of the day, you are sum total of the people that you have surrounded yourself around. You're sum total of the people that you surround yourself with. But when you want to change something about your life, you need to remove some people and you need to add other people. We're in a place right now in our life. If you're like me, I'll be 40 next month. Well, I'm pretty much halfway through my life. There are some things that have to change in my life if I want to retire early. One thing about me is that I'm going to retire early before age 50. I'm going to retire before age 50. Listen to what I'm saying. I am going to retire before I turn 50 years old. I am going to travel the world, and my business system will continue to earn me money and allow me to continue to travel the world. Within the next 10 years, I am going to retire myself from hard work and labor and move into an arena where I will get paid for the words that are coming out of my mouth over the next 10 years. And they're going to be so powerful that I'll never have to work physically with my hands another day in my life. By the age of 50, I'm going to retire myself from hard labor. How do I know that? Because I believed it before I came on live. I didn't need you to verify it. I didn't need you to clarify it. I didn't need nobody to validate it. I didn't need you to throw me thumbs up. I didn't need you to say, go boy. I didn't need you to say, preach it, young man. I didn't need you to say, Pastor G. I didn't need you to say, go business owner. I didn't need you to say, I second that. I do not need approval for what God is going to do in my life because he's already showed me and I believe it. The question is going to be that as you move in your way and the way that you're moving, can you mute the voices in your head so that you can be all that God calls you to be? And then I want to deal briefly with the fact that Maybe you've already muted all the people that are in your head, but you're still not going anywhere. You need to put higher wisdom and knowledge in your mind so that you can begin to change that trash talk that's going on in the inside of you. You are probably living in a place where you've already exited and already moved everybody away from you, but your life is not moving. Your life is not moving because you're not reading. Education moves you. It propels you. It pushes you forward. It allows you an opportunity to grow in areas that you could not grow in, into areas that relationships and knowledge has not been cultivated. A book will cultivate and reawake areas in your life that only you understand, because those areas have never been tapped into. Your potential have not ever been tapped. Your mindset has never been tapped. When you really want to change something about yourself, you need to educate yourself on the matter and allow that education to grow you to a place to where you can begin to operate on your own 2 feet, according to what that book has taught you, according to what it said. If you're in a place in your life is not moving, but you don't have friends, your self-talk is probably negative. You're probably telling yourself, now ain't the time. You're probably telling yourself, man, I need to find new friends. You're probably telling yourself, no, matter of fact, you're telling yourself, I don't need to find new friends. The people around me, they good. If your life is not moving, it's probably because you're weighed down with too much negativity, and your negativity is outweighing the good that is in you. That's some stuff that you got to mute. That's some stuff that you got to stop listening to. There's some people that you've got to stop listening to. And sometimes we got to stop listening to ourselves, because sometimes we can be the worst critic when it comes down to our life. We can be the worst critic. What does that mean? There's some things that we're saying in our life that we're saying to ourselves that is canceling out every possibility that God could deliver us and make us great. We're canceling it out. We're canceling it out. And the sad part about it is that the majority of us is waiting on somebody else to validate us, and it ain't never coming. It's like the Titanic, when the Titanic was sinking, and they called back and they said, the Titanic is sinking. We need help. We need help. They said, what do you mean you need help? You said that the Titanic couldn't sink. We're not coming to help you. Help is 6 hours out. Help will be there in the morning, but it ain't coming tonight. They said, help. The Titanic is sinking. We need assistance right now. We don't have enough lifeboats. We need help. They said, well, we'll be there tomorrow to help you. But surely you guys can wait till tomorrow, right? Well, so much water pumped on that boat that boat didn't make it to tomorrow, and a lot of people died. Why do I say that? The majority of us are scared to move because the majority of us cannot move forward in life because the people that are around us are not taking us serious. They're not taking us serious because they weren't meant to be in our lives in the first place. Whenever you're telling them this is what's going on, this is what I got going on, this is what's going on, what do? They laugh. So you're telling me that you're not going to go forth in life and be who you are because they're laughing at you? You're telling me that you can't go forth in life and be all that God called you to be because you don't want to be embarrassed by stepping out by faith? Well, let me remind you of this in my closing. The word of God tells me, he says that if you never honor me in front of people, I won't honor you in front of my Father. What does that mean for you? That means that if you never step out on why you were created in front of people, if you never allow God to use you according to why he created you in front of people, if you allow the fear of being in front of people to keep you from doing what you need to do in life, then you stop yourself and you allow those other people to stop you. How do you fix it? Got to hit the mute button. You got to hit that mute button. You got to turn off everything that is not for you for a little while until you can get yourself back on track, because there's greater later. But right now you got to rethink this thing. You got to revise it. You got to rethink it. Listen, man, you got to move right now. If you move right for the next 3 to 6 months, God is going to do something spectacular in your life. But you've got to move by yourself. You got to turn them off. You got to quit picking up the phone for them. You got to quit letting them stir your spirit. You got to quit letting these people get in your ear and cause you to be stagnant. You got to remove yourself from them for a while. And if you're willing to remove yourself for just a little while and allow these people an opportunity to go on about their business, your life will begin to go up. Thomas Edison said, I don't want my ears fixed because I don't want to hear people. When will you get in a place in your own individual life? You already got the money to do it. You got the skill to do it. You got the people in your corner to do it, but you don't have the confidence. And the reason that you don't have the confidence is because the very people that you're calling friend never puts anything in you. They never push you. They never tell you that you can do it. So you live your life based on what they think of you. And baby, let me tell you, it's only going to get worse. The further up you go, the less people that's going to support you. It's Greg Thomas here, man. So Entertainment, man. Mr. REAL. Checking in on this Saturday afternoon, man, to inform somebody. There's some people that you got to mute. You got to do it. If you're a content creator, you got to get your stuff out. You got to post it, whether they ride with you or not. You have to put your stuff out in order to know how you're growing and if you're growing. You've got to overcome people in the process of being great, because they may not support you now because they don't have time, but they may support you later because the time is available for them to support you later. But don't think nobody is listening to you. Do your podcast, do your lives, do everything that you have to do. Run your business and run it for the better, because you want to always be in this place. Soon, God is going to add wings to your business. He's going to add rocket boosters to your business. He's going to take you from here to there. And there's going to be more than enough people that want to hear you and pay for what you have to say. But in the meantime, don't be distracted by the fact that people don't have time to listen to you right now. Greg Thomas with So What Entertainment. I'm logging off. I've got some stuff that my son he got something that he want to do. Got a place that I need to take him to. And I told him I'm going to take him. But not before I put some energy on my own dreams. Not before I put some energy, not before I empty myself and allow myself an opportunity to be refilled with something new. So I see you guys back here tomorrow afternoon for another episode. I don't know what the topic may be, but one thing I do know is I'm going to come and I'm going to come and I'm going to come and I'm going to come until I get where I'm going. Because I'm in the back of the room right now. But I want to be number one.